Okay, dude, here it is, because they don't, it's not very clear on the box and the website on how it works, but this is definitely the spot. And basically, let's see here. Let me switch it real quick. And, okay. So, right now, it's in the battery locked out mode. So it won't come on in your pack if you press the on button now. It just flashes on the side saying battery locked, the blue. And when it's not locked, that's the battery meter, and it'll show you how much battery life you have left, I guess in 1/3 increments. But to get out of the lock, you're going to press and hold the power button for like 6 seconds. Then you're good. One click turns on the main LED, which is stupid bright. I would say, I don't know, I guess I haven't compared it side by side, but I would say somewhat similar to the AA mini LED mag light. Maybe not the LED Pro one, but like the multifunction switch one. 2 clicks gives you the side LEDs. Man. Okay, so you can see it's there. It's the 2 side LEDs. 3 clicks. Oops. 3 fast clicks, that is. There. Gives you a strobe. It's funny that it makes it look like one's flashing before the other, but it's the 2 outside LEDs and they're flashing at the same time. But anywho, so like I said, 2 clicks is the outsides, 3 clicks is strobe. And then from any of those settings, 1 more click is off. So on, off, if you press and hold on, then it'll go to red. Then from red, now on, off is red. So this is how you'd probably want to have it so you don't lose your night vision and blind yourself when you first turn it on at night, I guess. I don't know. But basically the last thing it was on, red or white, before you turn it off, that's how it's going to turn back on. Then, there is no settings here. Double click, just turns right back off. It's just red, both on, off, on, off. But in the red, or in the white, or in the double white, it's all the same. And I'll show you in the red because the camera does terrible with the white, I guess. Now, from any of those 3, while it's on, if you press and hold the power button, it'll start to dim. It'll go all the way down, and then it'll go back up, and then it'll go back down, and it like flickers at the bottom, and it flickers at the top of its span there. So it'll go all the way dim. So now it's dim. Now, if you want to go back to bright, dim to bright, there's this little touch sensitive, what the crap, there, right there on the side. And you just touch, bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, dim. And if I believe you turn it off, it's going to come back on bright. Yeah, so that'll reset your settings. But I guess the theory is maybe you'd have it on this, and you'd make yourself a dim one like that. So you'd have a dim, and get the strap away. So you'd have a dim and a bright, dim, bright. So that way you'd be walking around camp like this. I guess you look at something out in the woods and you just go bright, take a look, yeah, there's nothing, and go back dim, walking around camp. But like I said, you turn it off, turn it back on, and it's reset, and it's just going to come back on all the way bright. And just so you can see and know that I'm not lying, there's the double. Press hold, and it'll dim. Bright, and dim. So like I said, in any one of the settings, single, double, you can't make the strobe. dim or bright. If you try to click and hold here, it just turns off. And then in the red, click and hold, and you can go dimmer or brighter. And like I said, this is the only one that I found that lets you dim, which just is crazy to me. That I don't know. I mean, maybe they need some kind of like circuit board or something, some kind of like computer chip or something to do that kind of business, and maybe it weighs a little bit more, but this is 90 grams, so it's 4 grams more than the Princeton Tech one I was considering, the one that just got the Editor's Choice gear for 2015. And besides being 4 grams heavier, which is like unmeasurable, it's basically like relatively close to the same specs. It's 40 lumens more, but I think if you look at the beam length measurement, it's not much more in distance, but it's infinitely more adjustable with the dimming function, which I don't know. Like I said, that just blows my mind that none of them have that ability but this one. So anyway, and then I was looking at the Revolt is it looks to be basically identical, except it has the ability of rechargeable AAAs, which it comes with the Black Diamond brand rechargeables, and I think it comes with NiCads too, or some kind of lithium ones, I guess, not rechargeable. And then instead of having this touch sensitive area here, it has like a little, looks to be like a little rubber plug covering, I would assume, a micro or mini USB port there. And that's it. Oh, and then this has got the hinge on the bottom like that. The battery door is the back here. You open it from here when it's closed back like that. So right there is where it would open up. And basically the whole front comes off of the back, and the front piece is holding the AAAs. So there's no like circuitry that's got to go past the hinge or whatever, you know. It could break off of the back base and it should still work. There isn't anything that would keep it from that. The waterproofing is, unless you get a heavier one, it's same as any of all the other ones I saw. It was like IPX4 or something like that. I don't know. It's basically like water resistant. I don't think you can submerge it. There's nothing like waterproofing the battery box. There's no gasket or anything. So water's going to go in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it works underwater. I've put lots of flashlights in the bathtub, and they definitely work underwater, even though the battery compartment's not waterproof. It just fills up with water and the thing keeps working. You would probably want to air it out, because all the ones that I've done that with, they got all corroded and nasty later, but they were like throwaway flashlights anyway. So anywho, I think that's about it. I don't have anything to compare to. I don't even really have a dark room in the house to shine it in. I guess this is a fairly dark room. So that's the spot beam on brightest. Yeah, there we go. On brightest spot beam. If I go, there's the flood. Yeah, that's the flood beam. Man, it doesn't do any justice on this video, but I can see perfectly fine this whole room. And I imagine this is kind of how it would look, on a campsite. And then there's the strobe, which doesn't really do anything. Yeah, let's see, there's red, which you really can't hardly see. But it's that would be, I'm trying to see, that would be in the middle of the night. That red would be too bright to read, probably. You would need to dim it down just a little bit with that dimming function. So, and that's what I was afraid of. The other ones all have basically the same power, the same lumen red LED, but they're not dimmable. And I thought, well, it's possible that would be too bright to read with. And if that's the case, you're pretty much screwed. You're just gonna, I mean, you only have one setting. So, anywho, I'm trying to think. The only other one, the one I liked next was the Princeton Tech Bite. It was the smallest one, the lightest one. It was only 2 AAAs. Long battery life, but it's not nearly as powerful of a light. So I think it was probably out because it just isn't quite powerful enough. And then you have the one that I was saying, the Sync that got the editor's choice. I didn't like its multi-function switch that it had. You know, there was like 6 or 8 of them in the store, and they all had a different feel to them, which bothered me because it made me think like they were kind of cheap, maybe. You know, I would expect them to all feel very similar when you're switching between the different modes. But, you know, some were like, you couldn't even feel the click, and then other ones, it snapped, you know, from one to the next, and it sounded like it was breaking every time. And then some of them felt pretty good, but it was just kind of like luck of the draw. And it was okay. I liked it, other than it didn't feel nearly as good of quality as this one, as this Black Diamond. And then the one that was a really good contender from Princeton Tech was the Fred. It didn't use the turnable multifunction switch thing that the Sync had. It just had a button on top, kind of like this Black Diamond, and it felt better. Although same thing, from one to the next, the button had a different feel to it, but I liked it just being a button. And I believe it had 4 or 5 modes. It had 2 brightness levels of red, which is what I liked. And then it basically has like 4 LEDs across it, I think, and 3 are white, 1 is red. So it does 2 levels of red, and then it does either 2 or 3 levels of white, you know, bright, and then less, and then less. So I kind of liked it, but they just didn't. They were cheaper. I paid $40 for this Black Diamond from the Mountaineering store. I think it's $30 if you buy it online, and I'm sure you can get it with free shipping. So I got you know, not the best deal there, I guess, and I paid tax, but whatever. Support the local store, I guess. But anyway, yeah, if you do an online price, I guess they're pretty similar, because I think this one you can get for $29, and then those Princeton Tech ones are above $20, maybe between $20. Maybe the Bite is $20, $19.99, and then the others are like $23 and $25 or $27, maybe something like that. So I mean, it's really just like barely a couple dollars more for this one, and I would say it's worth it. And then weight-wise, compared to the Mini Maglite, this is 90 grams. Like I said, the Sync I think was 86, so like basically the same. They're both like 3 ounces. And then I think a Mini Maglite with batteries is 4.15 ounces or something, so a little more than an ounce heavier, which, I mean, you know, it doesn't feel like much, but they all add up, I guess. So and then as far as durability, I gotta assume the Maglite is stronger. I don't think the Maglite is waterproof. I think it's got that same IPX4 rating, surprisingly, even though it has like gaskets on the battery caps and stuff, but I don't think it's rated any higher. And then, of course, the battery life is much less. I was looking at it, I think that multifunction Mini Maglite that I usually have is like, crap. I want to say it's only like 4 hours or something on bright, and then it's like 30 hours if it's on dim, and then maybe a couple more hours if it's on like strobe or SOS mode or whatever. So you're going to get 30 hours at most, whereas this one on the dim white light, you know, like the 2 single ones on each side, I think that flood mode is like 150 hours or something like that, and on red is like 200. So full bright is 100. Full bright on the single big LED in the middle is 100 hours, which is by far better than the Mini Maglite. But anywho, and then of course I gotta assume it's going to be more functional. being able to put it on your head, opposed to trying to hold a mag light in your teeth or whatever if you're trying to use both hands. And I think that's about it. So I'll try it and see. I like the Revolt though, with the rechargeable. I don't know. I could buy another one if I really liked it, I guess, but I don't know. I can't see myself having the some kind of a roll-out solar mat to charge all my stuff with. Maybe if you were doing long distance through hike or section hikes of like the AT or the PCT, because you actually have cell service, I think, for a lot of those trails. Whereas I don't even have cell service at my house here, so I have no reason to ever have my cell phone in the woods here. I could charge my GoPro, I guess, but then I would need to take the charger for the GoPro and then the cord, which would work for both. And if you were really going to do that, then I guess you'd just go ahead and get one of those new Garmin Tactics watches. And even though it has terrible battery life compared to a solar watch, you could charge it too. So the problem solved, I guess. Get one of those roll-out solar mats and get the power pot so you can cook while you're boiling, or charge while you're boiling water. I don't know, man. Anywho, I think this thing's going to work pretty good. We'll see.